Linda Dubrow-Marshall, the Manager of Counselling and Wellbeing Service, and I've invited Alan to come talk with us today about all the things that our service can do to make students who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgendered feel welcome to our service. And Alan's a former student from Salford University. Hi, thanks for coming.
No, thank you. Yes, so my name's Alan Bailey. I'm a former student here. I used to run the LGBT Society quite a few years ago and was then Vice President of the Students' Union. And I'm now the LGBT officer for the National Union Students, so I represent all the LGBT members of, or the LGBT people out of the 7.2 million members of NUS, so it's quite a lot of LGBT people. So yeah, I'm here today to help talk about some of the issues around LGBT. That's great.
And what do you do in your role now with NUS?
Okay, so I represent LGBT students nationally. So I said represent all the members of NUS who are LGBT, and do that we support LGBT groups on campuses. So most universities and colleges will have an LGBT group. Salford has a really good one. I'm not just saying that because I used to run it, but it has a really good LGBT group. So we give them support and we train them to support LGBT students and to run really fun, effective groups that can do a lot of support for LGBT students. And then obviously fights for LGBT students' rights and LGBT people in general in wider society, be that through campaigning or lobbying or awareness raising or whatever. So we do quite a lot, really.
Well, it's really impressive. And in my service, we tend to help people who maybe aren't having the best of times and who might be struggling with some issues. And what do you think are some of the LGBT issues that students might find that our service can help them with?
I mean, whilst one of the big issues is coming out, some people come out before going to university, a lot of people come out during university, because obviously it's a lot of people, you might be the first time you're away from home, and it's an opportunity to come out. But obviously coming out sometimes isn't easy, sometimes there's a bit of problems, sometimes with families, sometimes with friends, and it's really important to talk through those issues and to make sure you've got support, whether that's your question your identity and you'll find it difficult to come out about your sexual or gender identity, or whether you've had a bit of bad reaction from someone and you want to talk around that, particularly if that's affecting like any support you might need. So any support you might get, say financially from your parents, that sort of thing. It's really good to make sure you get support from that. I mean, I was lucky, I didn't have any issues, although I was outed before coming to university, but that was okay. All my family knew, but it was always a good reaction. But before I did, an interesting start to uni for me, but it was all okay. But if it's not okay for you, that's where you need to really go and get support.
I think that's exactly right, and that's where our service can help as well, because we have a counselling service. So if you wanted to discuss your issues privately and confidentially, one-on-one, with a counsellor, you could go over your feelings and your anticipations, what you're worried about, how to handle things, how to communicate things. And our counsellors can help people in terms of the emergence of their identity, any questions they may have, anxieties, if they're feeling depressed. I, for example, once worked with a student who really was coming to terms with his sexual identity, and he wasn't sure if he was bi or gay, but he was feeling depressed and thought, well, maybe I'm not going to have as good a life as other people. And I was able to help him explore his feelings and look at his life more positively. So that's one of the things we have, but we also have well-being advice where we can refer to you and to other agencies where people can be helped and other activities. So we have kind of practical support. And we also might be able to help in terms of dealing with families and things like that. And we also have a mental health advisor for anyone who might actually have a mental health disability and need accommodations in terms of their studies or just some practical advice. So we have all those things that we offer through our service. And our service is knowledgeable about these issues. And this is something that we talk about.
Yeah, I think it's really good. And I'll say if you're a student here, make sure you make use of those services. I talk to far too many students who are coming out or have got problems, and they think they're the only ones, and you're not. And it's really important to chat with someone, and sometimes you need someone who doesn't know you, maybe, and it's going to be confidential and it's not going to go any further. And there's nothing wrong in going and chatting about that. And I think it's really important to know that the people here are really friendly, and it's not going to be an issue to talk about anything you might want to talk about, especially in terms of sexuality. And remember, there's a lot of support out there, not just counselling, but also obviously student groups as well. And just make sure you don't sort of suffer in silence. That sounds cliche, but you get support that you need, and you chat through the issues you need to.
Because sexuality is such a private issue, and it's wonderful to know that you can have a private place to talk about it. That's really important, and we do everything we can to make people feel safe to express any feelings that they're having at all. And we're not there to judge, we're there to help support the person and help people get together and understand themselves better and be able to make the proper decisions for themselves.
Yeah, definitely.